What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com, baby babies. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting the movement, which is ashsaidit.com. For everybody that's been downloading the podcast worldwide, I appreciate you guys so very much. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for your love, for your endless support. And you guys know I like to snatch up some people from all around the globe, multi-talented folks. And this young man is, he's got a whole plethora on his background, on his resume, and things that he's doing. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chris Rubinstein. Chris.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good, Chris. Chris, let our audience know, where are you from? Where do you represent?
Originally from Philadelphia.
Oh, really? From Philadelphia, okay. And where are you today, Chris?
Right now I'm in Portland, Oregon. Been here about 2.5 months. Been bouncing around a bit, and I think I've hopefully figured out where I want to stay for a bit.
So, Chris, you've got you've got one specific video that has been floating the web that caught my attention, and it was your pulled pork barbecue sandwich. Well, false pork, should I say? Should I say false pork?
Yeah, just call it mushrooms.
Your mushroom barbecue sandwich that was absolutely delectable. Like, I really wanted to just reach through the computer screen and just grab a piece. To start off with you, how did you begin your journey to becoming a vegan?
Well, for starters, I should say I'm not vegan anymore. That video definitely makes it seem like I still am. I was for 16 years. I started cooking because I was vegan. I grew up, we had animals all over the place, growing up my entire life, and I kind of made a connection between caring about animals and not eating them, which a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you feel that way now? I don't know, I was young and sort of just made that connection, and it stuck with me for a long time until about 5 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's long. 16 years is a long time.
Yeah,
to be vegan. That's a long, long while. So, How did you find inspiration for recipes?
Honestly, I've just always been interested in other cultures. I grew up, my family would bounce around all over the place, all over the country, because of my dad's job. And, I just kind of saw different things wherever we ended up. Originally Philadelphia, Minneapolis, where there's not much of a food culture, but what was around me interested me. And then we moved to Phoenix, and that was completely different. Then we moved to Greenville, South Carolina, where I discovered, Southern cooking. And, that's where I really started cooking and getting interested in that. I fell into a couple restaurants while I was in high school. It came time to do something after that. Didn't want to go to college, didn't really see a reason for it, and ended up in culinary school, and kind of evolved from there.
Yeah. So would you say prior to being vegan, were you interested in the kitchen? Were you helping mom out?
That's literally how it started. I was always helping my mom cook. I was always interested in what she was doing. And she hates when I tell the story, but I started cooking because she didn't know how to cook for me once I was vegan, because I was 16, 17, still living at home. And, she would cook. And I actually decided on Thanksgiving, I forget what year, that I was going to be vegan, which pissed her off pretty bad, because I just kind of sat there no, I'm not going to eat this. And she was like, what are you talking about? But yeah, I kind of got thrown into it because I had to fend for myself, because she was like, no, you're on your own. I'm not going to figure this out at this stage. And I definitely destroyed the kitchen many, many times.
I would imagine it would have been like a science experiment gone wrong. I could see that it would definitely be a reason for mom to freak out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So, what challenges did you face? And like I said, I'm asking a lot about the veganism just because that's a huge topic today. Everybody's jumping onto the bandwagon. Everybody wants to become vegan all of a sudden. And, they're watching these documentaries. So, what were some of the challenges that you faced when you became vegan and you wanted to go and hang out with friends? I'd imagine that changed.
Well, I was actually lucky. It was me and a bunch of my friends. We were all vegan. And honestly, that was probably why. Well, it was really me and a few friends, and then I ended up meeting people, going to shows, playing in bands, and we all just had very similar interests. And it's like, oh, like all these people are vegan. I'm vegan. Cool. It just sort of went on from there. You can still learn how to cook. You can still be vegan. You can still steer away from cooking meat, but I feel like you should learn how to cook everything.
What was the shifting point for you from vegan to back to the rest of society?
I had moved to LA for this restaurant called Native Foods Cafe. I helped them open up a restaurant in Newport Beach. 6 weeks into working for them, living in LA, they laid me off. Turned out they didn't want to pay 2 chefs, and they gave the other chef all my restaurants. I think I had 6 in LA that I was running, and she and I are still friends today. Who they replaced me with? She was like, nobody, me. I'm running all your restaurants now. So I was in LA, 3,000 miles from home, needed a job, ended up at the Staples Center. I was an executive sous running the 2 restaurants there. And went through my tasting for all the chefs there, still vegan, cooking, my tasting menu. Got hired my first day. I had 30 cooks underneath me. I had to make sure everything was right. I needed a job. It was either that or I'd be homeless. And one of the cooks was like, "Chef, come try this demi." I was like, well, shit. I guess I'm eating meat now. That pisses off a lot of people. But, you got to do what you got to do. And I feel like I still contribute to that whole vegan community. I was teaching culinary school in Thailand, a plant-based culinary school. I still teach people how to cook vegan. I teach them how to make things taste good for people that eat meat. I feel like that's important.
It's good to be well versed in both avenues, as you were saying, and to understand both sides of the spectrum. Now, this shift for you, is there any chance that you're going to shift back to full veganism?
Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like, I still eat primarily vegan. For me, like for how I live my life, like it just, I just kind of do what I want. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I stay away from factory farm situations, like, factory farm meats, factory farm, eggs. I feel like that is more of a detriment than actually living a vegan lifestyle. I feel like that's what people should be focused on, is the way we get our meat, the way we get our food. I'm actually working on a farm now, and I'm learning a lot about that, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about your work today now. From working in, top-notch culinary institutes, restaurants, and now you've kind of shifted. We've been watching your timeline, Mr. Christopher, and things have shifted. So what is going on with you today?
Honestly, so 2 years ago, I moved back to Philly. I was running a restaurant, and I hit 100% burnout. Did not care anymore, angry all the time, working too much. I didn't care. And I just kind of said that was enough, quit my restaurant. Really didn't have a plan. Roundabout way, ended up in Thailand teaching culinary school, and after that, I've just kind of, whatever comes along, if it sounds good, I do it. Kind of promised myself I'd never run another restaurant again. And right now, I'm helping out on this farm. We take whatever the farm gives us, and we turn it into meals, dishes, whatever. We sell it around Portland. We sell it at our farm, out of our store. I'm also helping out with a private chef. Last night, we actually went and did a farm dinner at another farm. We're really learning about agriculture. We're learning about how things could change and be better if we focused on them. I'm not sure if that answered your question.
Yeah, no, yes, that was good. So, Chris, now with this experience under your belt and so much ahead of you that you are unclear on and unsure of, but you know that you're going to go full force forward, what advice would you offer to any young person now that's listening that's like, hey, you know what, I don't really know what I want to do? What advice would you offer them today about life?
That's okay. You don't have to know what you want. I'm 37. I still don't know what I want to do. I just kind of take it as it comes. Specifically for people that want to cook, that want to be a chef, or just in general?
Yeah, for people that want to be in the culinary.
Okay. Be patient. I deal with this a lot. I deal with this right now. For one thing, you don't have to go to culinary school. You learn more hands-on at restaurants, catering companies, things like that. Be patient. Understand that there's a lot to learn when it comes to cooking. I've been doing it probably 20 years now, and there's tons I don't know. I learned so much last night just from hanging out with another chef, seeing what he was doing. Check your ego. Don't think you know everything. Just learn. Always learn. You know, I deal with this too. Like I know a great bit, and there are people that have been doing it way less time than I have, and I still learn from them. Don't think you can't learn from people. Shut your damn mouth and listen. That's the biggest thing. You know, I learned more from some of my dishwashers. Some of the best things I've ever had come from guys that, you know, come from Mexico, come from El Salvador, come from, you know, I was working for a Swedish family and they taught me stuff. But just always try to learn, you know, and I don't know, be humble. Just gotta stay humble. That's the biggest thing. Chefs honestly are assholes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I know you've seen that from all. I know you've seen the spectrum of that. And really, honestly, I'll say every industry has those. The same thing that you were saying about, you know, checking your ego and just, you know, shut your mouth and just listen. A lot of people could learn a lot just by that principle. But no, Chris, definitely, I thank you so much for joining us today. Let our audience know the best way that they can get in contact with you if they need to reach you for anything.
Just, I guess, hit me up on Instagram. Just my name, Chris Rubinstein, Rubin, not Ian. A lot of people hit me up on Facebook, and I don't check it because it gets filtered through, like if I don't know you, it gets filtered into some place that I don't ever see. And it is cool. A lot of people do ask me how to get started in the culinary world, and I love answering those questions. Do me a favor, though. Don't ask me why I'm not vegan, and you can ask me. Just be cool about it. Be respectful, because I get some people that get pretty pissed. You catch more flies with honey, and, you know, I feel like that's a big reason why vegans and veganism gets a bad name. It's the unwilling to understand where people are coming from, you know?
Yeah, that sounds crazy. So people really like verbally attack you?
Nah, nobody's attacking me. Nobody's been outright rude. Some people, you know, they just don't want to listen. They don't want to hear anybody else's perspective. Let's be real. That's kind of what's going on a lot right now in the world.
Oh yeah.
And I think we can learn from everybody. You know, I mean, hell, if you're vegan, talk to a butcher, talk to a cattle farmer, talk to somebody that does it, see where they're coming from. You know, you don't have to agree with them, but, you know, you may learn something.
Absolutely. You could learn something. Chris Rubinstein, thank you so much, Chris. Much more success to you. And we'll keep track of what's going on with you. Of course, we're watching the IG. We're looking at the feeds and seeing where you're at next and what you're doing next. And we really appreciate that. But I thank each and every one of you guys for downloading the show. I appreciate you so very much. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, it's cool, it's fun, but real life is so much better. Talk to you guys later.